giving us instructions and putting us on track. So after his wonderful speech, I just wanted to trail behind him so that I could I really appreciated the wonderful lines spoken by him. I'm sure you all have also done so. Am I right? You all enjoyed his speech? But then just listening and forgetting will not be sufficient. Whatever is spoken on such special occasions, children, you are expected to think deeply about these lines, ponder over those lines and try to even implement it in your day-to-day life. Then only whatever words are spoken on such occasions, they will be fruitful. Okay? So I once again appreciate and wholeheartedly the wonderful lines spoken by Ajay sir. Now, as such, he gave a very good Christmas message, and if I have to tell you something about a Christmas message, I would like to just tell you in terms of what I understand about Christmas. Okay, only that type of a message I will be able to deliver to you. Now, before I move on to this, our last celebration was Thanksgiving Day, and first lot when we had a program, I was very busy. I could not join in for giving a few lines to you, but I had an opportunity in the second shift, and where I could speak a few lines, and there I mentioned, I'm just repeating the 2 lines. I'm not going to speak broadly about those lines. I just told the children, prayer is the strongest weapon to reach God. That was one very important line I told them. Also I told them, gratitude, human beings should have gratitude. Gratitude is the greatest virtue. Virtue meaning it is the greatest characteristic, greatest trait a human being should possess. These were the lines which I told in my last speech during Thanksgiving. Now, today as a Christmas message, I would like to tell you again just 2 lines. But before I go to that, I would like to ask you a question. I would like to ask you a question as to what is the most precious thing that a person can possess? What is the most precious thing a human being can have? Anybody? Anybody can guess? Please raise your hand and answer me. Is it money? Is it gold, silver, money, diamonds? Then what? What is the most precious thing a human being can have? What he can earn, as a matter of fact. Okay? I think you're not able to guess the right answer. The right answer is God's grace. God's grace. Human beings have to earn the grace for anything precious that you have to possess. You have to first earn it. If you need very good marks in your examination, now whatever I am speaking, try to follow properly. If you need good marks in your examination, just like that you are not going to get it. You have to earn it. You have to make an effort. Yes, you have to learn your lessons properly, make an effort, and then only you are going to earn your marks. You have to work hard to earn your money. That way, if you have to have God's grace, you have to earn it. Earn it means you have to make a special effort to get God's grace. Because why is it that God's grace is the most precious thing in our lives? Because once we have God's grace, you have conquered the world. The whole world will be with you. You just need to have God's grace. Now, there is also a saying, children, there is no need to look here and there. There is also a saying that it's not enough to have intelligence and brain like a pumpkin. You know pumpkin? Such a big fruit, okay? If you have such a big pumpkin-like brain and intelligence, also the matter is not served. The matter is not served. But if you have, mustard seed, rye mustard seed, which your mother uses in the kitchen, if you have a mustard seed of God's grace, also your work will be done. So now you understand how important God's grace is. Therefore, I started by asking you a question. What is the most precious thing a human being can have? And what he is expected to earn? You have to earn God's grace. Now, that matter is over. How can you earn God's grace? Is the second matter which I would like to tell you. Can you guess? What are the things that you have to do to earn God's grace? What are you expecting? You also have to do something. Then only God's grace will shower on you. I can just tell you only three things, little at a time. Number one is you should have love for all. You should love every person that you are associated with. So you know there is also a saying, love thy enemy, right? Even your enemy, you should love him. Love your enemy. It's a very, very difficult thing because these are days where there is too much of enmity. But if you develop this characteristic and trait of loving everyone, that is one sure thing by which you can earn God's grace. The second thing is having compassion for all. Now what is the meaning of compassion? Compassion, again, I can just summarize with two words: caring and sharing. Compassion comprises two important words: caring and sharing. That means that also has a lot of meaning in that. You have to have equal care for everybody around you. Because again, these are days where we are totally selfish. We are only worried about ourselves, our family, our children, our hope, that's all. And nothing beyond that. So if you are able to go beyond that, share your things, whatever you have. Because somewhere I heard, there was some person who told me, some spiritual person, told me at least 10% of our saving, 10% of our earnings we are expected to give in charity, which means 100 rupees if we are earning, at least 10 rupees have to be earmarked for charity. So that is the way it should be. I hope you have understood the meaning of compassion, caring and sharing whatever things you have to share with your friends because you are just students just now. Now, the last thing which I would like to tell you, the last characteristic, the list is endless, but I'm trying to summarize it, is empathy. What is the meaning of empathy? The correct meaning you can open your dictionary and check up. But just now, for you to understand, I can tell you the meaning of empathy is putting ourselves in somebody's shoes. Again, the meaning is, suppose there is a person who is in some type of a pain, maybe a physical pain. Something happened to the body, some problem is there, and the person is suffering, or he may be having a financial pain, having some money problem, whatever. So you have to put yourself in that person's shoes and try to feel the pain. Only when you put yourself in the other person's shoes, you will be able to feel the pain of the other person. But then, these are days we are moving very fast. We don't have time for anybody. So if you are able to develop these three characteristics of loving everybody, having compassion for everyone, and having empathy for all your fellow beings, then you are going to earn the grace of God. With this, I conclude my Christmas message. Merry Christmas to all.